So it's yet another beautiful day in October of 2021, and I'm standing here next to Station Park, which is the Village of Freeville's ongoing Pocket Park project. It's at the intersection of Railroad Street and Factory Street here in the village. Uh, the park is located within the old right-of-way of one of the two lines that used to cross in Freeville. This one was known as the Elmira, Cortland, and Northern. The other was the Southern Central. And back in the day, those two lines crossed just on the other side of Route 38, about 200 feet from where I'm standing. And by virtue of the fact that those two lines crossed here in Freeville, the village virtually overnight was transformed from a quiet little mill town into a bustling railroad town, virtually overnight, and it remained an important regional railroad hub for many decades to come. I have here a picture of one of the early passenger stations that was at the crossing across the road. This station was built in about 1895 by the Lehigh Valley Railroad, and the picture was taken by none other than Vern Morton, the Groton-based photographer who produced a really incredible body of work documenting daily life in the Groton and Dryden areas in the early 1900s. And of course, Morton was an inspiration for the wonderful Spirit of Tompkins portrait project. This station stood for only about 15 years. In 1910, this larger masonry station was built at the crossing. This is actually the model for our bus shelter here at the park. The project is one that we've been working on for quite a few years, actually since before I became mayor back in 2014. The original impetus for the project was when the village demolished a much-loved local landmark that stood at the site. It's this large, about 15 feet across, octagonal concrete structure that supported a water tower that provided water to the trains as they drove by, and that landmark is still greatly missed by many people here in Freeville, and it got us to thinking about developing this site, creating something that would be a gathering place for local residents, particularly the residents in this neighborhood on Railroad Street, and it's actually become a popular gathering place. Many people bring their treats over from the Toad's 2 ice cream stand right next door. It functions as a bus stop. TCAT just a couple of months ago opened it up as an official stop for the 2 bus lines that come through Freeville now. We're finally heading into the home stretch of this project. It's been really a great experience for me. I've really enjoyed working on the design and construction of this project. I grew up in Ithaca, and local history has been a real strong interest of mine since childhood, actually. Back in the 80s, I built a couple of scale model recreations of areas in Ithaca, including the Old West End and the Central Business District during the city centennial in 1988. So, to be able to sort of bring history alive in a way that is tangible, three-dimensional, and accessible to a lot of people. It's always, been, it's been an activity that I've enjoyed over the years and continue to enjoy here. I'm looking forward to completing the project finally sometime next spring. I'm currently working with a local graphic designer to create 9 large display panels. 3 of them will go on the kiosk and 6 more in the bus shelter. Those panels will focus primarily on the history of the railroads with historical photographs and text, but they'll also examine the history of Freeville in general. So, as I say, we hope to be done with the project within the next few months, and looking forward to maybe having a grand opening sometime next spring.